Creativity is thinking of new things. Innovation is doing new things. A pleasant afternoon to all the innovative minds who have joined up for the virtual annual project display, NAVONMESH. DAV Chandrasekharpur welcomes you all. At the outset, I extend my hearty welcome to our revered Principal Sir, cum Regional Officer, Zone 1, Dr. Keshav Chandra Satpathy, all esteemed principals of DAV Zone 1, our school coordinator, Madam Indra Bhattacharya, all supervisors, my colleagues, our ever supportive parents, and my beloved students. I take the privilege to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed judges of the day. Dr. Bairagi Charan Malik, Assistant Professor in Chemistry, Ravensa University. Dr. Vivekananda Sundar Rai, Assistant Professor in Physics, Ravensa University. Dr. Tusankat Beuria, Senior Scientist, Institute of Life Science. So all the young budding scientists of DAV Public School Chandrasekharpur, where innovation is a tradition, are all set for the senior annual science project display, NAVONMESH. Dear participants, you will be getting 7 minutes of time for the presentation, followed by question answer session. So each group will be given maximum 10 minutes. You will be judged as per the following criteria: innovation, 10 marks, organization, 10 marks, presentation and question answers, 10 marks. Out of 30 marks, your project will be evaluated based on the technical glitches. So without much delay, let's welcome our first group. Group name, and the project name is AI Driven Commando, used for agriculture and food security. Name of students going to present is Parikshit Singh Ratho of 9th D, Subhankar Das of 8th A. Yes, Parikshit and Subhankar, both of you are ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, children, you can start. Parikshit, yes.
One morning, we woke up at night while dreaming of eating fruit. But it was winter. So sad. But when I was on a trip to my teammate's village, maternal village to be precise, while we are eagerly waiting to eat all the fruit, we got the sad news about the condition of fruits and veggies. A large amount of crop was destroyed by the birds. At that time, we got the problem and we wanted to fix it as soon as possible because we got the mission to save all the fruitarian and veggie families. And there, the AI-driven commando was born, but in our mind. We are Subhankar
and Parikshit, team members of AI-driven Commando. We are here because we love to express our ideas because ideas worth spreading.
We say and always want to say that we did something today that our future self will thank us for. Brief summary about the project AI-driven Commando.
It is a commando which will work using artificial intelligence.
It will detect any object coming towards the crop field through ultrasonic waves.
It also contains an auto irrigation system which will sense the moisture level of the soil with moisture sensor and irrigate the field accordingly.
This is a soldier which protects and helps us to protect our crops from all kinds of birds and animals, including humans.
It will also ask the farmer to respond to do any work assigned by the farmer.
It will reflect light to the birds coming towards the crop and the birds will fly away. AI-driven commando. What's new? It is a AI-driven scarecrow which will help us to destroy, to help us to save our crops from destruction from birds. It will make the birds fly away.
Auto irrigation system. It uses an auto irrigation system using soil moisture sensor.
Effective concept. Why? Can you explain me?
As per the survey of 2019, $168 million were destroyed just by birds eating the crop. Isn't that a big number?
Yes, it is. The increase in losses is raised from $44 million to $128 million. Aren't you panicked?
Perfect, $5 million. 5 million, around 2 million users, it is 100% effective.
We only see the destruction of how much fruits and vegetables we bought. But just think about the farmer once. He sees and feels the destruction of the whole field. Let's explore the commando in depth. It blows a light which will carry away the bird and they will fly away.
The first feature of the commando is birds repellers, which will use ultrasonic sensors to detect any obstacle which will be placed upon the servo motors to increase the range of detection. We can use 4 sets of bird repellers at each corner to decrease the delay of the sensor. Let's move to the next feature.
Fire alarm.
This is a fire alarm system. In farms, there are secret fires which the farmer is unaware of. It will play sound. It will play the sound when any fire is detected. Let's move to the next one.
Auto irrigation system.
The last one is auto irrigation system. The moisture sensor will calculate the percentage of water present in the soil, and if the moisture decreases, it will send the signal to the pump to water the plant and stop when moisture increases.
These are some of the picks of our project.
Some add-ons are also there. This project is powered by solar to preserve electricity. There is a display to show the data of the sensors, and we have made a custom application with which we can control commando with Bluetooth and will be able to show the analytics of the sensors.
Let's go to the next slide. The tech raw materials we have used to make the commando. Arduino Uno, breadboard, ultrasonic sensor, display, buttons, fire alarm sensor, solar panel, power bank, LED light, soil moisture sensor, DC water pump of 12 volts, servo motors, and application to control. This is the SWOT analysis of our project. The strengths are, it is a easy to use product. There will be one-time investment in this product. It prevents wastage of energy and water. The opportunities are, it is a worldwide problem. No need of extra laborers for inspection of crops after plantation of fields. And it's a never-ending problem. The weaknesses are most useful for illiterate farmers in some conditions only. The threats are can cause to the farmer if not used properly due to technical errors only. Thank you.
Thank you
If
so much
any
for
questions,
thank you so much for watching patiently.
if any questions, please ask.
Now I request our esteemed judge members for the interactive session.
Hi, Parikshit and Suvankar.
Yes,
So
sir.
it was
Yes,
a
sir.
nice presentation. Okay. So idea was good. So I have like few questions. So what is the cost of the equipment? Do you think like if you want to take this to the farm? So what is the cost of the equipment and how many numbers you require for, like if you consider the field in either square feet or square meter, how many numbers you need in that basis?
Sir, actually, the range of the sensors sir, we can use a little bit more expensive sensors, which will increase the range of range of detection. And sir, the costing will be something around 4,500 to 5,000.
4,500 to 5,000 per how many square feet or square meter?
So this will be
Sir,
sir,
it will
50 meters.
Mhm.
So 50 to 100 meters.
50 to 100 meter or square meter? What?
The square meter.
So 50 to 100 square meter is a very small place, because generally whoever wants to use will try to use in bigger fields.
Sir, instead of sensors, we can also use camera, which will be more helpful and effective to use, because the camera has no range and it can cross all the limits.
Okay. And second thing is, anyway, if you use camera, there will be like lot of demerits, because something is in front of the camera, then it is blocked, specifically in a field. So
we can use different softwares with the help, because that will help, and that will detect the birds whenever the bird is coming in front of the camera, and it will detect nothing else.
okay. So in which class you both are studying?
So I am from class 9th and he's from class 8th.
Okay.
Okay. Sir, we have also prepared the model, but due to some technical errors, it is not working since morning. So, but there is a small problem. It will be fixed.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Parikshit and Subhankar. Now we'll proceed towards the next group. The name of the project is Bricks, the talking plant. And it is going to be presented by Ayush Shreyas Dhal of 9th E and Arman Rath of 9th E. Ayush and Arman, both of you are ready?
Yes, ma'am.
You can start.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Arman Rath.
And good afternoon, judges. This is Ayush Dhal.
And today we are here with our concept and idea, that is Bricks, the talking
Plant. As we all know that plants play a very important role in our daily lives by providing oxygen, food, shelter, and many other aspects. Therefore, effective communication with plants will result in better future.
So to bridge this communication gap between the plants and humans, we present you the idea of Bricks.
Vriksh is a system powered with advanced computer technologies that enables the plants to express their needs and requirements through human understandable language, specifically in a computed voice. Sounds complicated, right?
So let us understand this in a better way. I would like to request Ayush to show the sensory organs flow diagram. Yes. So the system can be better understood with this flow diagram. Just as in the case of humans, our brain receives the stimuli from various sensory organs, that is the touch, sight, smell, hearing, or taste, and processes it. In the same way, the plant can also be fit with artificial sensory organs for the major requirements like soil moisture, temperature, humidity ratio, light intensity, and weather info. And that will be processed by advanced computer technologies like artificial intelligence and data science.
As we can see here, the system will take the data, both historical and recent, from the sensors, process it through multiple technologies like AI, data science, machine learning, etc., and then provide the required output with a computed voice.
The plant can also be trained to become proactive or predictive and asks for its requirements before time, so that the system will work effectively. As shown in this diagram, the system will work exactly in this way. It will take the input from these parameters, process it, and provide the output in computed voice, which will be a human understandable language.
As proven by the experiments made by Sir Jagdish Chandra Bose, stating that interacting with plants improves its health, implementing the same, a simple chatbot can be fit using AI-based technologies like natural language processing, artificial computer voice, and trained chatbot models. A two-way verbal chat system can also be made possible. Other minor extensions, such as mobile notification of its requirements, self-care mode, and remote plant tracking can also be added.
Now let us have a look at the various technologies used in Bricks. As you can see, we have used multiple programming technologies to make this system. We also have implemented some of the external API services, and we have used a few hardware materials like the Arduino Uno microcontroller board, soil moisture sensors, LDR sensors, DC water pump, and we have also used pre-trained AI models for the chatterbot. If we look at a simple diagram of how the bridge looks, let us have a look at that. As you can see, the plant will be fitted with various microcontroller boards, speakers for its output, with speakers it can give the output through computed voice. It will have power sources, it will have soil moisture sensors, LDR sensors, and the other software technologies implemented within the computer. So now let us have a look at the demo of this project. Just a second. So is my model visible?
Yeah, Arman, it's visible.
So sir, this is the main system of Bricks. It has some components like this is the speed. This is the chat button. This is the DC water pump. Here is our plant, and this is the soil moisture sensor. Now let us have a look at its demo. As you can see, currently the soil is in normal state. When it will become dry,
"Hey, I am thirsty. Please give me water."
the plant said its requirements in a human understandable language, and it was spoken through computed voice. Similarly, other possibilities like if the one of the major necessities of the plant is light, in the same way, if I will cover, if it is in the dark place,
It's too bright here. Please keep me in a shadowed place.
if there will be more sunlight that can harm the plant, so the plant will say that please keep me in a shadowed place. If I will cover it my
It is
hand,
too dark here. Please keep me in a bright place.
it says that it's too dark here. We also have designed a web app for the user through which the user can remotely track its plant and see what are the current state of the plant. We also have given a mode where the user can plant, like the water its plant from any corner of the world by simply clicking on start watering. As you can see, for demo, we have kept the pipe here only, but it will be fixed with the plant. And similarly, if I stop watering, it will stop. And we also have an additional feature, like if the user is going outside somewhere, not near the plant, so he can turn on the notification mode, and whatever requirement of the plant will be there, it will be directly sent to the user's WhatsApp number. So this is the web app that we have designed through which the user can remotely track its plant. And the complete system, it is based on the parameters taken from these sensors only. It takes the factors, it takes multiple factors into consideration. Like it takes the factors of soil moisture, temperature, humidity, light, and taking into consideration all of these together, it provides one single output that is told by the computed voice. In for this current prototype, like if we have taken few cases, but when this project will be taken to a production level, more cases and more advanced technologies can also be used. That was all from our side. Thank you.
Now, this is the time for interaction. Judges, please.
So Ayush and Arman, it's a very nice concept, nice presentation. But like, what do you think, where you can use these things?
Sir, this project is specifically made for the home gardening systems. Excuse me. This is particularly made for the normal home gardening system for users like me and you. As we know, farmers, they have the skills, they know the particular requirement of the plants, and they can take the right action at the right time. But the normal users, the normal humans, a day-to-day worker, he doesn't know what the plant requires. So here the plant can tell its requirements and he can take the necessary action.
Now for the light. Okay, so watering is fine. For light, if something, it is like very bright light.
Yes.
So what are you going to do? And if you are not at home? And how you decide which light is high, how much light is less?
So first of all, like how we are deciding if it is dark or light, dark or bright, we have collected the data from the internet, checking what is the right amount of light percentage. What is the right amount of light percentage required?
What is that percent?
So the right percentage of light required for the plant is 40 to 60%.
60% of what?
The brightness of the light, the sunlight should be 40 to 60%.
So it has some unit, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, like in this system, we have taken into consideration the brightness percentage.
No, brightness 100% means what? That's what I'm asking.
So means the light, the brightness of the light, that will be in some, if it is dark, then it will be below 30 or 20%. It will be bright, it will be more than 60 or 70%.
Okay. Vivek, any question?
Yeah, you can express that thing in luminosity. I think the project is very nice. Actually, I'm from physics. Actually, I think it will be more interested for biology persons, I think. And I'll be more interested how you are actually getting all this data. Actually,
So we are getting, sir, as we have told, that the plant gets its data from various sensors and API services.
yeah,
For all
yeah,
the weather data.
yeah. Fine. I'm looking for that point.
Yes, sir.
What kind of sensors you are using?
Yes, sir.
Sensors.
Yes, sir. We are using.
Yeah, what kind of sensors?
Sir, for soil moisture sensors, we are using the soil moisture sensor that is available for microcontrollers. For light, we are using the LDR sensor. And for temperature, humidity, and weather data, we are using a service called Open Weather Map. That's an online API.
Okay, okay, very good. And what about the artificial intelligence here?
Sir, artificial intelligence works here. Like, sir, it is not like, sir, if the soil becomes dry, then the plant will tell that I need water. Sir, the multiple data from various sensors. Like if the soil will be dry, if the temperature will be high, then only it will say. So the process, which is the right amount of, like, which is the right combination and permutation combination for the plant, here comes into play the artificial intelligence. And it can also be used to make the plant proactive, predictive. Thank you.
I think no more queries are there. Thank you, Ayush and Arman. Let's go for the next group. The name of the project is Effects of Unhealthy Lifestyle on Our Heart, and is going to be presented by Nishka Chakravarti of 9F.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Nishka Chakravarti from Class 9, Section F. My project is regarding the effects of unhealthy lifestyle on our heart. As we all know that for a body to function properly, we need a healthy heart and a healthy mind, but some unhealthy habits may hamper the proper functioning of our heart. So I'm going to talk about the four common unhealthy habits that hamper the proper functioning of our heart, and I'm also going to share a PPT. So the first unhealthy habit is having an unhygienic lifestyle. This habit is practiced by people living in rural areas, slums, and crowded places. Like this area, it is very crowded Most of them are not aware of hygiene, so they stay close together. Children of those localities get recurrent throat infections, which then leads to rheumatic heart diseases. This is a healthy heart. What happens in rheumatic heart disease is it is the mitral valve, it gets choked, and there is a lack of proper flow of blood to the human heart. I have also written some symptoms like chest pain, abdominal swelling, fatigue, shortness of breath, swelling of ankles and feet, and it can also lead to heart attack, stroke, and death. The next unhealthy habit is sedentary lifestyle or inactivity. Inactivity is common among people who are working in 9-to-5 jobs, and also children who are attending online classes. If we are not moving throughout the day and we are sitting throughout the day, fat will get deposited in our body. Fat deposition leads to obesity, and then obesity leads to heart attack. What happens in fat deposition? Fat gets deposited in the artery. These are the arteries, the red colored ones. Actually, the arteries, they get deposited inside them, and it causes plaque or atherosclerosis, and then which causes improper flow of blood and nutrients to the body. It also leads to angina, which means heart pain, and it also puts us to a risk of heart attack. The third unhealthy habit is taking stress, which is commonly seen in teenagers and youngsters. Excessive stress can lead to rise in blood pressure in our body, and it can also rise the cortisol levels in our body. High blood pressure it also increases cholesterol of our body, which then can lead to coronary heart disease and also heart attack in elder people. The fourth unhealthy habit, and the most important one, is smoking. Smoking can cause dangerous effects in our body. It can affect every organ of our body, but it mainly affects the heart and the lungs. It has a chemical named as nicotine, which thickens the blood in our body and which creates problems in transporting hormones and nutrients to the body. It even forms clots inside our arteries, and blockage of arteries can lead to sudden heart attack and death. So I hope my project promotes a healthy lifestyle because times are not good. Thank you.
Yes. Jury members are requested for interactive session.
Yeah. So Niska, is a nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
So you talked about like unhealthy lifestyle.
Yes, sir.
So how to make it healthy? You should have like put at least one slide to tell like how to make it more healthy.
Sir, by not doing these habits, sir.
It's like one of your slide was telling it was like taking stress by teens or youngsters.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how are you going to not take stress?
I think, sir, after the teens their stress are mostly from studies. So after they should take breaks between the study sessions and just go to some and distract themselves, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Any more queries, sir?
Okay, Nixa, it is a very nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
I think I'll suggest you one thing. You should actually go for outdoor games. But you to relax, na, for youngsters. You should
Yes,
go for
sir.
mostly for outdoor games. I think nowadays we forgot actually the outdoor games. People
Yes,
are
sir.
actually more concerned about the social media than themselves.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay,
social media is also cause for stress, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Niska. Let's proceed towards the next group. The name of the project is Smart Garbage Management System, which is going to be presented by Ansuman Das, Nirvan Patnaik, Sainath Misra, and Soham Naik of 11th.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends. Today, I'm Nirvan Patnaik. And I'm Soham Naik. We are going to talk to you about our project, Smart Garbage Management System. First of all, giving you a brief definition about...
First switch on your camera.
Ma'am, our camera is switched on.
No, people are not visible.
Ma'am, you search ma'am Soham Naik.
Yes, Soham Naik's camera.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, we will continue.
Yes. Continue.
So first of all, giving you a brief definition on solid waste management system. It is a discipline that is in the control of collection, transfer, and disposal of solid waste, which is in accordance with the best principles of public health.
This problem is faced by different cities all over the world. So we are here with a solution to this problem with our smart garbage disposal system.
So first of all, now coming to our model, here we have a switch. With the help of switch, we can move the combustion chamber to an open space. Now we'll put the garbage waste materials. Now we will burn them. Now again, we will take the combustion chamber under the heating sensor. Now we can see that the LED bulbs are lighting. What is this? What is the reason behind this? When the combustion process is going on, we have a heating sensor above the combustion chamber. This combustion chamber heating sensor detects the heat that is coming from the flame, and this sends an indication to this light, and this light says us that the minimum amount of voltage that is required is acquired. The work of the electric relay here is that it doesn't allow the it doesn't allow the current to flow until the minimum required amount of voltage is acquired by it. So after acquiring the minimum amount of voltage, the electric current passes and the lights are lightning. Now, talking about how these solar panels work, as soon as the flame rises, the solar panels here, the solar panel, the light emitting from the combustion from the flame is the light emitting from the flame strikes the thin layer of silicon present in the solar panel. These light strike the electrons off, forming a PV charge. This PV charge creates an direct current. Then this direct current is captured by the wirings in the solar panel. Then it is sent to the inverter. The inverter converts the direct current into alternating current, with the help of which the rise lights we can see here are lightning. So in this process, the light and heat energy can be converted into electric power and can be used for working of different electrical appliances. During combustion, also many mixture of gases are released. So our first job is to separate the CO2 gas by a method of cooling and condensation. After separating the CO2 gas will pass through this pipe to the food heating machine, and the leftover content of gases will be neutralized and will be scrubbed, and then it will be sent into the atmosphere. Now I would like Shoham to tell you something about the food heating machine.
So here we can see that there is a steel box. This steel box is to be covered with thermocol, and except the upper side. The upper side, there will be a window cut on the upper side, so that the plastic sheet is to be taken and pasted or attached in the inner side of the steel box. And we also take an aluminum foil, which is also attached in the inner side of the whole of the steel box. And now also a piece of cork is also taken for and kept for usage. So now this steel box is kept in such a place where plenty of sunlight is available. The food or the liquid which is to be heated is kept inside the steel box. Then the carbon dioxide which was emitted from the flue gas, or which was extracted or purified from the flue gas, as told by Nirvan, transfers to this box, to this pipe. Then the box is tightly closed, or in other words, it is airtight. So now here we can see that when the sunlight strikes the plastic sheet, the plastic sheet absorbs more sunlight and does not let it escape out. So here the carbon dioxide as a greenhouse gas also helps in trapping more of the sunlight. Now here we can also see that the thermocol, which is in the outer side of the steel box, it doesn't let the sunlight to escape out, and the aluminum foil which is inside the steel box reflects the sunlight many times and increases the intensity of the heat inside the box. So now talking about the fly ash that is released during combustion. This fly ash is captured by electrostatic precipitators, and the bottom ash that is left out in the combustion chamber after combustion is collected. The bottom ash and the fly ash are mixed together. They are now known as coal ash, and this coal ash is now used for making ash bricks, or we can say fly ash bricks. And these fly ash bricks have a great advantage over the normal clay bricks that are used for constructing. Now I would like Soham to tell you the advantages of ash bricks over the normal clay bricks. So now, as told by Nirvan, there are many advantages of fly ash bricks over red clay bricks. So some of them are fly ash bricks have a higher compressive strength as 75 to 100 kg per centimeter square, and red clay bricks have only 30 to 35 kg per centimeter square. Fly ash bricks have lesser water absorption ability, and the red clay bricks have a greater water absorption ability. The wastage of fly ash bricks is only about 2 to 5% in construction sites, and as compared to red clay bricks, the wastage is about 6 to 8%. The cost of fly ash bricks is about rupees 4 to rupees 6, whereas the cost of red clay bricks is about rupees 5 to rupees 8, which states that fly ash bricks have a greater advantage than red clay bricks. So now at last, we would like to thank you, Rituparna ma'am, and our other science teachers for helping us in completing this project and encouraging us and giving us some innovative ideas about this project named as Smart Garbage Management System. Thank you.
Now it's time for the interactive session.
It's Anshuman and Soham, right?
Sir, Nirvan and
Nirvan and Soham.
Nirvan and Soham, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nice idea. So I have a couple of questions. In the first place, so how this heat energy is converting into electricity? I think it's just the circuit is closing or opening. That's how the bulbs are glowing. Or is the heat energy is converting into electricity?
Yes, sir. Sir, practically heat energy is converted to electrical energy by steam. Then it is then turbine. Then as turbine moves, then we have electricity convert. Then we can generate electricity. But here, sir, we have a heating sensor above the combustion chamber. You can see here. This heating sensor passes a this heating sensor, the heat then flows to the circuit, and we have a light here which indicates that the required amount of heat is captured, and then only it passes to the electrical relay, and then when required amount of voltage is acquired, then only the relay allows the electric current to pass through the LED bulbs, because sir, the relay doesn't want that the bulbs should glow in a low voltage because it affects them. So as soon as the required amount of voltage is acquired, the bulbs start lighting.
Okay. Okay. So have you done any like cost estimation? The idea wise.
Yes, sir. Sir, for this separation of gases that we are saying that CO2 gas is separated from the mixture of gases. So for that purpose, we can if we put on a air separation gas plant, it costs something about 15 to 20 lakhs. And the cost of incinerating or incinerators for burning 1 per ton of garbage is something around 1200 to 1800, sir.
1200 to 1800 rupees.
Sir, per ton.
Per ton.
Yes.
Okay. And how much energy it will produce? Will that worth like you'll able to recover that?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is that much efficient that it can be, sir, supplied through a city for generation of electricity in the homes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any more queries?
Hello, good afternoon, Karen. Yeah, I just have one or two questions to the presenter. One thing is that Avinash, such a nice presentation. I was looking that how it is different to the recently been used or been in the most popular plasma-based garbage disposal system. How is different to this yours one, and what is the advantage of being using what you plan and you demo it just now? And second thing, what kind of garbage?
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, the advantage is that, sir, from only incineration, sir, we can make ash bricks. We are collecting the ash and making ash bricks. Sir, we are separating the CO2 and then transferring the CO2 to a food heating machine, and we are using it to heat the food. And also, sir, we are converting the heat and light energy into electric power. So, sir, by doing one process, we are getting, sir, 3 benefits: fly ash bricks, food heating machine, and electric power, sir.
So it is general for all kind of garbage, or you are specific for different types of?
Yes, sir. Sir, the first process is that we will separate the dry waste and the wet waste. Then from dry waste, from within the dry waste, we will separate the organic and inorganic one, sir, because the inorganic one can be used as compost, and the organic one can be used as compost, and the inorganic one can undergo incineration, sir.
Okay, that's great. But that separations, can you make specifically how specific it is? Because when you say it's organic, and some people doesn't like non-veg also, that should not be in there. So how specific that is for? Now this are the concept. Okay, anyway, it's very interesting. And as Dr. Devdi has already asked, the cost effective, so it looks like the purpose. Thank you very much. Nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nirban and Soham, for the nice presentation. Next project is anti-sleep alarm for drivers. It is going to be presented by Bhagyasri Swai of 10G and Amrita Patra of 10B. Bhagyasri and Amrita, both of you are ready?
Yes, ma'am.
You can start.
One and all present over here. I Bhagyasri Swai of class 10G and I Amrita Patra of standard 10B. The aim of our project is to design and develop an anti-slip alarm for drivers. In modern times, owing to hectic schedules, it becomes very difficult to remain active all the time. Imagine a situation where a person is driving home from work, dead tired after facing all the challenges of the day. His hands are on the wheel and foot on the pedal, but suddenly he starts feeling drowsy. His eyes start shutting and his vision blurs, and before he knows it, he's asleep. Falling asleep on the wheel can lead to serious consequences. There may be accidents and people may even lose their life. This situation is much more common than we notice, and hence it is very important to counter this problem. So, to address this issue, we have come up with the anti-sleep alarm for drivers. This system alerts the user if he or she falls asleep at the wheel, thereby avoiding the accidents and saving lives. This system is useful especially for people who travel long distances and people who are driving late at night. To do this project, we need some address. First, a eye blink sensor. It is attached with LED, an IR LED, and other is an photo LED. We need a 9-volt battery which will run this system, and a motherboard is required which has monostable and bistable multi-vibrator, and a buzzer is required which will give a sensation whenever we are closing or opening our eyes. During the transportation of cargo and heavy materials over long distances through trucks, the effect of inadequate sleep proves to be a major problem for these vehicle drivers involved in continuous driving and leading to a fatal accident. According to 2014 AAA Traffic Safety Foundation study, it was found that 37% of drivers fell asleep during driving. Out of 21% of fatal crashes, 37% caused severe injury, all due to drowsy driver who was continuously driving for a long time and having an open eye on the road. Now I would like to show our model. Here is our model. It is the motherboard. It has monostable and bistable. The monostable is for delay and the bistable is for latch. It has a buzzer and it has two LED. The white one is IR LED and the black one is photo LED. And it is a 9-volt battery. Now I would like to show you our working of this model. Here is the switch on button. So now I'll wear this. And now as you can see, if she closes her eyes for 3 seconds, it will buzz. And here is the switcher button. Procedure. The project uses the eye blink sensor, which consists of IR sensor. There are two sections in IR sensor. The IR transmitter is used to transmit the IR rays to our eye. The IR receiver is used to receive the reflected IR rays of eye. If the eye is closed, then the output of IR receiver is high. Otherwise, the IR receiver output is low. And if the eye is closed more than 3 seconds, it activates an alarm. Along with it, a vibration motor creates vibration, which in turn wakes the driver. The analysis and design of driver drowsiness detection and alert system is presented. The proposed system is used to avoid various road accidents caused by drowsy driving. This project involves avoiding accident to unconsciousness through eye blink. Here, eye blink sensor is fitted in a transparent spectacle which driver need to wear while driving the vehicle. Where if driver lose his consciousness, then it alerts the driver to buzzer to prevent vehicle from accident. With this, we would like to sign up. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhagyasri and Amrita. This is the interactive session. Jury members can ask the questions.
So Bhagyasri and Amrita, it's a nice idea.
Thank you, sir.
So my question is, why you have chosen 3 seconds?
Because normally a people closes his eyes whenever we blink like this, it will start buzzing. So we have fitted it 3-second timer so that when sleep comes, we have to blink our eyes for a more duration. like 3 seconds or 4 seconds. So we thought that 3 seconds will be more suitable.
So why 3 seconds is more suitable?
If we blink 1 second or 2 seconds, it will
No, no,
buzz.
it's
It
fine.
will
No.
normally do. So while 3 seconds, it will take time for someone who is sleepy.
So do you know something 3 second rules for driving?
No, sir, it was no, naturally it came to us.
Okay, so there is a 3 second rule. Like whenever you are driving, so you can keep a distance of 3 seconds from your front car. Okay, so internationally people follow that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, any more queries? I think no more queries are there.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Bhagyasri and Amrita. Let's go towards the next project. Proceeding towards the group 8. The name of the project is General Ahead Travel into Future. It is going to be presented by Kalim and group. Kalim, you people are ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's start.
Good afternoon, respected panel of judges and all my dear friends and respected teachers present here. Today, I, Kalim Subhani, Amritanshu Rath, Asis Vikram Prushti and Shakti Sankar Misra are going to present before you a fascinating topic known as Gen Ahead, representing the word generation ahead. So traveling into future is our tagline. Now let's move on and see actually what was the problem that made us to make this project. Well, the problem that we found was two of the major problems were traffic and pollution. As you know, worldwide, pollution has become a very widespread problem in our society, in our daily life. As we know from the major cities in India, pollution is the major contributor of all kinds of diseases, as well as the main cause of pollution is the global vehicle fleet. This is because the number of vehicles are increasing rapidly across the world. More people are buying more vehicles and it is increasing, and these vehicles run on fossil fuels which cause more pollution. Now executive director of United Nations Environment Program says that cleaning up the global vehicle fleet is a priority to meet global and local air quality and climate targets. Now let's move on and see what the problem is with the traffic. Well, you all know, and I think every one of us has faced this problem: traffic congestion, of course. Now, traffic congestion not only wastes our time and increases stress, it also increases the vehicle emissions and degrades the ambient air quality. And recent studies have shown that excess morbidity and mortality is due to the traffic conditions. Due to this traffic congestion, many emergency services like ambulances are also hampered, and it's also a wastage of time, and it causes stress and anxiety. Now, these were the problems that we found out. Now, let's look at what our solution is. For solution, I would like Amritanshu to continue.
Thank you, Kalim. As stated by Kalim, that we have been once faced in the traffic congestion. We haven't realized that this also impacts a very serious aspect of our life, that is punctuality in every age group. Not only this, in the most harsh situations, these can create very serious sufferings that even include death sufferings at the absence of ambulance at the required place, but at the required time. So every problem has a solution. So let's have a look on it. Enlightening it.
So before showing the real life model, I would like to just take a look at this virtual model that we created to have a general idea of what we are proposing. So this is a travelator. These are the travelators, the pods that are spherical in nature. This would be built on a raised platform, and more will be explained in the real life model. Yes, Amritanshu, please.
So moving on, as you can see, the so-called travelator is formed on a raised platform that we can say that is supported through pillars or any strengthful infrastructural structure like market complexes, malls, hospitals on the pathway on the that are supported with these pillars. So how then let's know that how it executes. Finally, we are finding a solution that, as usual, we are taking the transport means like Ola or Uber. In the same way, we will be using some AI applications to execute this mechanism also. In this app, you have to select a required destination, and this will also show the nearest checkpoint that you have to travel on. After every successful transaction, you will be getting a QR code for scanning as a proof that you have successfully transacted the seat or the scanner. So after this, in case of any forceful entry, as you can look, there is a red light indicator here, and also a buzzer sound will be there, something like this, in case of any forceful entry. So after this, after the successful transaction or the successful scan, you can board the travelator, and this can go to the required destination. Coming to its execution, these are also controlled by a control center, as you can see here. Not only control center, these are also powered by solar energy from the solar panels that are kept here on the pathway as well as at the control center. These will also provide some other resources like the street lights, the traffic control system, the traffic lights, and all other normal equipments that are used in the road. In case of no booking of the travelator, these are stored in the control center itself. These are stored or parked on the control center itself. On the demanded time, it will reach the required destination. So let's have a look on its advantages. So I would require Sakti to continue the proceedings.
Thank you, Amritanshu. As we know, the travelator is entirely based on the solar energy system. Hence, it is considered as an eco-friendly means of transport. But the major significance of this travelator is that it reduces the number of vehicles traveling on the road. This not only reduces the traffic congestion, but also plays an important role in reducing the traffic accident, the accident caused due to the rash driving of the drivers. I would like to present some statistics before you, which will show the criticalness of the situation, that how rash driving is a very important and very critical creating criticalness in the Indian society. According to the reports, in 2021, Ahmedabad has registered 1,274 cases of road accident, out of which in 400 cases, nearly 400 cases, the victim found to be dead. That is about 31%, which is a very huge number. And as we know that our world is suffering from the COVID crisis, but still in Maharashtra, every year in the past 2 years, there is an increase of 5% in the traffic accidents, and in 4% and an increase of 4% in the death cases. Not only that, the travelator are also working on a separate route, which facilitate it to meet the purpose of ambulance. Let's imagine a case where a person is dying, is struggling for his life, but the ambulance couldn't make it there to the time because of some traffic problems or any other issue. Then the person can use the travelator to reach the hospital, which can save his life. This way we can save a lot of lives, and hence it can be considered as a boon for a lot of patients. Some similar situation can be considered for the school students and the office goer. As a school student, I leave the home at time, but at times I got late to reach the school. Why that happened? That generally because of the traffic. The traffic nuisances created and the noise pollution hampers our mind and our daily productivity. But if we go to the tabulators, those pods can be used for the smooth journey for the passengers. They will increase the regular productivity, and hence the person could give its entire focus towards his work. Also, as I mentioned above, that the travelator is based on solar energy, solar power, so it can be used to also light up the street lamps, and hence we can replace the conventional street lamp which use a lot of energy, and this could be a very this could reduces the cost of the government. Also, the travelator is AI oriented, hence there is a very mere chance for malfunctioning and we could get the glimpse of a bright future. Now I would request my group mate Assis to continue with the presentation.
Now, is this project as feasible as it's fascinating? Let us know. Now, it would be built on a raised platform and it would make the best use of space. Also, the checkpoints would be small enough to allow the passengers to just board the travelator, making it very minimalistic. For manpower, it would require a lot of manpower in its initial construction, but once done, it would be AI oriented and it won't require the least amount of manpower. Also, it can be controlled by a control center. For the budget, it would require a considerable budget initially, but afterwards, the maintenance and operating costs would be low. How is it better than its contemporaries? Now, we must know that the system doesn't aim to replace the contemporaries, but it helps to achieve a greener society and it aids to reduce the stress on the prevailing modes of transport. However, it would be better than its contemporaries in the following ways. How is it better than a metro? A metro requires a lot of land and a hefty budget for the amount of distance it covers. Also, it cannot be implemented in every city and connect to every corner. How is it better than tram? A tram fails to reduce the traffic congestion and also causes many accidents in busy roads. How is it better than a train? Trains, although a good means of intercity travel, also require a lot of land and they cannot reach every place inside a city. How is it better than taxi? Taxis run on roads and contribute to the traffic congestion as the number increases exponentially and they also cause pollution, hence increasing the problem.
Now, with that information being shared by Ashish, I would like all of us to imagine to sit one place and imagine that how it feels moving on a pod governed by AI and which is maintained by solar energy. Isn't that fascinating for all of us to get a smooth journey, to get a better journey for the passengers? This is what motivates us to prepare this project. This is what motivated us to prepare this project because we wanted that the passenger traveling on the road should have a safe and secure life. Their life is very much important to everyone. So that makes and with the help of the technology present that assist us for planning a better future for us and our future generation, to justify the name of our project, Generation Ahead, Travel into Future. Thank you very much.
Now it's the time for interactive session. Yes, jury members, please ask the questions.
So Kalim and group, it's a nice model, like, but too futuristic. So what do you think, like, suppose in India or Bhubaneswar, how long it will take to implement?
Sir, actually, with my knowledge, actually it is possible to implement it even now with the current resources. This is because actually we are thinking of many other means of transport. For example, Ola, Uber, and then numerous kinds of solar vehicles such as Tesla. Many states have already applied for Tesla, and we are also searching for something called monorail or metro and these other things. So if we implement or if we try to implement something which is actually better even for current generation as well as it would be a boon to step into the future, then it would be helpful.
Is like the pod is for like 6 people, right?
Yes, sir. 2 to 4 years.
4 to 6 people.
So 4 to 6 people. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But in monorail, 100 people can travel.
Yes, sir.
And most of the cities where like either metros or monorail, so monorail is now common.
Yes,
it does not require space. It's all the big cities, they are planning for monorail, which can actually take hundreds of passengers.
Yes.
Okay. So,
but as we said earlier, these are not meant to replace the conventional means.
Not replacing. Like if someone is making, so he has to take a decision between monorail or pod.
Yes, sir. So for that, I would like to answer that because since monorails, when it is used, monorails cannot like stop at every point. For example, when we book an Ola, we book it to reach certain destination. Even after using the monorail, suppose for example, the person goes to an office and the office is not near the monorail station. So he has to again book an Ola, again book an Uber or something taxi, then he has to go. But
So generally,
travel
it
it,
has a stoppage every 1 to 2 kilometers. It has a stoppage, and you
yes.
can walk 1 kilometer. That's not a very big issue for that.
So, but in like
So the main thing is that even making a pod can make it more connected. As I said earlier, that these are not only made in the pillars, but also in the enough strengthful infrastructural complexes like market complex or hospitals or malls, making it more connected and updated.
But
We can do that
how
thing.
you'll make that happen? Because anyway,
So
you have to
because
put
it's hard.
pillars.
So because the reason is that these materials or the materials used for the making the pod doesn't require a hefty budget, and also the weightage load on the pod are not much more. We are not saying that every child or every student of the city will be using this transport only. There are many other contemporaries, but this is also these are also the boon for emergency situations as well as a smoother transport for a speeder way. So we can say that in case of hospitals, it can make on these, as these are lighter materials, these are made on any outlet that is coming from the building and also have the support on it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Any more queries?
Yes, any more queries, sir? I think no more queries are there. Thank you, Kalim, Amritanshu, Ashish Vikram, and Sakti Sankar for your nice presentation. Let's proceed towards the next group. Self-sufficient railway. The name of the project is Self-sufficient railway. It is going to be presented by Sovit and group. Sovit, Ketav, Piyush, and Mahesh. All of you are ready?
Yes, ma'am, we're ready.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can start.
Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, yes. Yes, your screen is visible. You people are also visible.
Thank you, ma'am.
You can start.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, respected judges, and to everyone present over here. Today, I, Keta Mishra, along with my teammates, Shovit, Mahesh, and Piyush, I'm going to present our project on the topic self-sufficient railways. Wind energy is available without any cost, and it doesn't emit any greenhouse gases. This makes it a great source of energy for any developing state. The field of wind energy has tremendous scope for innovation as well as a lot of economic opportunity. But why am I suddenly talking about wind energy when our project is on railways? To answer that question, we'll continue on with the presentation. We'll answer it later. Now, to explain more about wind energy, I would like to talk about a wind turbine. A wind turbine is a device that converts the wind's kinetic energy into electrical energy. These are an increasingly important source of renewable energy and are used in many countries to lower energy costs and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. But even these turbines have some cons. Now, some of the cons of these turbines are they create a lot of noise disturbances. The prediction of wind is difficult and wind speed varies, which also changes the supply of electricity. They also have a high initial cost, and a large requirement of land is needed for wind turbines. These turbines also interfere with the reception of televisions and communication signals. So to deal with these problems, we have come up with a solution. It's a smaller and compact size vertical axis turbine. So our idea was to use these turbines in the middle of railway tracks to gain more energy and then supply it back to the railway stations. Now I would like my partner Shovit to elaborate more on it.
As we know, Indian Railway is a government-owned railway system that manages about the fourth largest network in the world, with a total route length of about 1,26,000 kilometers, out of which only 35% are electrified with electric traction. Moreover, the Indian Railway consumes about 2.5 billion units of electricity for non-traction usage, spending about 1,700 crores per annum. So we have a project which can make these railways self-sufficient in terms of energy requirement. Now I'll go for the model. Now is the model clear? Visible? Keto, is the model visible?
Yes.
Yes, visible.
Okay. As we know, trains while moving generate a lot of wind force. Here we have the two turbines placed in between the two railway tracks, as we have seen earlier in the slide. So as the trains while moving generate a lot of wind force while moving in its opposite direction. So as the train goes in this direction, it will produce a wind force in this direction, and the wind turbines will rotate. We can see here the turbine, it will rotate. So basically it will convert the wind energy into mechanical energy, and then the mechanical energy can be converted into electrical energy through a dynamo. Then we can supply this electricity through a control center and can be used for the fulfillment of the needs of the railway, like operation of level crossing gates, lighting at the stations, operation of visual display devices of railway signals, and many more. And after verifying the efficiency of these wind turbines, we can go for large scale production. And with further developments on large scale production, we will be able to produce a lot of energy. And even we can supply this energy to the trains so that the trains can use this electricity to run. So in the future, we'll make the railways self-sufficient in terms of energy requirement. With this, we come to the end of our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Shobit and group. But you people have to show your project again.
Yes, ma'am. I'm showing that.
Due to sharing, your project was not completely visible.
Is it visible now?
Yes, it is visible. Yes, you can briefly explain regarding the project, because it was very, yes, during explanation it was not clear.
Now, as we know, trains while moving generate a lot of wind force in the opposite direction of its movement. So when the train goes in this direction, it will produce a wind force in this direction, and the wind turbines will rotate. So here we have the turbine, and it will rotate with the wind force. So basically it will convert the wind energy into mechanical energy, and then the mechanical energy can be converted into electrical energy through a dynamo. And then with this electricity produced can be distributed through a control center. And the electricity produced can be used to fulfill the energy requirements of the railway, such as lighting of the stations and operation of level crossing gates, operation of the visual display devices of railway signals, and many more. So after checking the efficiency of these wind turbines, we will go for the large scale production. And on large scale production, we'll produce enough energy, and we hope we can supply this energy even to the trains, to the electric trains, and the trains can use this electricity to run. So in this way, we'll make the railways self-sufficient in terms of energy requirement.
Okay. So this is for the interactive session. Jury members, kindly ask the questions.
So, Sovit and group.
Yes, sir.
So it's a nice model. So my question is, do you think like you'll able to produce enough energy that can run the train and it will make it self-sufficient?
Yes, sir. Till now, we don't think it will be sufficient. So we'll first try to
No,
fulfill the
theoretically. It's a model, it's a theoretically. Do you think theoretically it is possible?
Sir, if you, I can share one image to show the how much
Actually, sir,
energy.
we will first apply this. Sobit, can I say?
Wait a second.
So you can answer directly, that's fine.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, these
Yes,
wind
sir.
turbines can produce electricity of about 1.6 kilowatt. I would like to show the screen by screen sharing. Oh, wait 1 second. Sir, is the screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Sir, as we can, this is a site called Omni Calculator, from which we have calculated and estimated the value, how much electricity it can produce. So taking the parameters of diameter
that's
of
fine. That is fine. How much it is producing, I'm not asking that question. My question is, do you think it will produce enough so that it will be self-sufficient? It can add some value that I can understand. I think there are,
Sir,
it's already these kind of turbines is already people are putting in the side of the highways and railway tracks in developed countries.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, currently the trains are using electric trains are using electricity from both renewable and non-renewable sources, and it is using about 70% renewable sources from solar energy and rest 30% from wind energy. So till now, it is not self-sufficient as a whole from renewable sources that are
Is
trains.
it
As the
possible
trains,
to become self-sufficient? Because you are taking energy from moving train and putting it
yes,
back. Do you think that is
yes, sir.
possible? Is some percent it will manage?
Sir,
Okay, that's fine.
actually, sir, 1 minute. Sir, first we will use this electricity for the operation of level crossing gates and operation of visual display devices at the railway signals and lighting of the stations and other electricity requirements at the station. Then we'll check the efficiency, how much electricity and how efficient it is. Then we can go for the
That
large
part
scale
I got it.
production.
I got it. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any more queries, sir? I think no more queries. Thank you, Sovit, Mahesh, for your nice presentation. Next, we'll proceed towards the next project, Smart Home Automation. Smart Home Automation. It is going to be presented by Rosni Panigrahi and Asrita Sahu of 11th. Rosni and Asrita, both of you are ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Roshni Panigrahi.
And I am Ashrita Sahu
of class 11A, and we have worked on the project Smart Home Automation.
In today's automatic and push-button world, we use all sorts of sophisticated devices to make our lives easier. Everyone likes to have hand-free control over the devices they use. These devices use electrical energy, and we all know it. Scientists have made quite a lot of effort in extracting electrical energy from different energy resources, so as to substitute it with electrical energy. For example, wind energy is converted into electricity. And for this purpose, this is the evidence of lack of energy resources. But our hectic lives have made us so immersed in work that sometimes when we go out for work, we forget that that we have left the lights on or any other homely appliances. This would not only consume a lot of energy, but also result in a huge amount in your electricity bills. But what if you had the access to switch the lights off even after you have reached your office? From lights to refrigerators to air conditioners, every device can be controlled through your Android device or phones. The functioning of every device would be just one click away.
So now, moving to the mechanism, IoT-based smart home automation systems are designed to monitor and control the attributes that you want to manage. First of all, we need to provide internet access to all our appliances, which can be done in two ways. First one through wireless way, that is through Wi-Fi, and second one, the manual connection by connecting a mod. We have used the Wi-Fi way here, and the Wi-Fi module we have used here is ESP8266. Then we need a processing unit. It has to be embedded with the Wi-Fi module. So the processing unit we have taken here is the Arduino. And nowadays, the combined processing unit and the Wi-Fi modules are also available in the markets. So we have used it, that is NodeMCU ESP8266, which is the combination of the processing unit Arduino and the Wi-Fi module ESP8266. So to one of the GPIOs, general purpose input or output of the NodeMCU ESP8266, the relay driver is connected, and to the relay driver, the bulb is connected. So basically, relay driver is a switch that works on the principle of electromagnetism. So this is, we can see this is the NodeMCU ESP8266, and the pins connected are the GPIOs, and this is the circuit diagram. This is NodeMCU ESP8266. To one of its GPIOs, the relay driver is connected, and to it, the bulb is connected. So moving on, we need an Android application that has to be created. Also, every server, it provides a unique number, which is called the API key for every device, and it has to be fit in the processing unit. So when we click on the on button in the application, what it does is it sends the signals to that particular server, and then the server searches for that particular device which contains the provided API key, and finally sends the signal to the microcontroller or the processing unit. So when the NodeMCU ESP8266 gets the signal, energy starts flowing from it into the relay driver. And as I said, it is a key. Relay driver is a key that works on the principle of electromagnetism. Its keys are made of iron. So when current passes through it, it starts behaving as an electromagnet and it gets closed. Now the circuit is closed and the bulb connected, it starts glowing. So this mechanism is applicable for all other devices also. So this is the application that we have created. You can see it. Now moving to the pros and cons.
Coming to the pros and cons, first of all, managing all our home devices from one place would be easier. Maximizing home security is one of them. IoT allows physical devices to stay connected and better communicate, which creates better quality control. Machine-to-machine interaction provides for better efficiency, enabling people to focus on other jobs also. It will also result in conservation of energy. Moving to the cons. As many of our everyday appliances, machines, services become connected to the internet, much more information is readily available than what we want to share. It makes it harder to keep confidential information out of the reach of hackers and unauthorized users. Currently, there is not any international standard of compatibility for the IoT, which can make it hard for devices from different manufacturers to communicate with each other. This can be overcome by using public servers, which will provide connectivity to all our households. And last but not the least, it is not very cost effective when we see it in a large amount or in a wider range. But if not cost effective, it will be a wise decision keeping in check of energy conservation and its resources. Moving to the working of the model we have made.
Let's see how it works. This is the working model, you can see it. And this is the application that has been created. There is the on and the off button. So now it's not glowing. When I click on the on button, it starts glowing. And when I click on the off button, it takes some time because of the delay that has been given to it, but it stops glowing. So that is how it works. Thank you all.
Thank you, Rosni and Asrita. Now this is the time for an interactive session. Do remember, please.
So Rosni and Asrita, it's a nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
So that app was made by you or someone else?
Sir, we have taken help for making it because it requires programming and all, sir. We are not much acquainted with it. So we have taken help for preparing the app.
Okay. So as both the pros and cons already said by you, I actually have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any more queries, sir? I think no more queries. Thank you, Rosni and Asrita. Let's go forward towards the next group. The name of the project is Forest Fire Early Warning Safety System. It is going to be presented by Amritanshu Prusti and Ankan Mondal of 11th.
Yes,
Amritanshu Prusti and Ankan, both of you are ready?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You can start, children.
Yes, a very pleasant good afternoon to all the respected judges and teachers present over here. Today, I, Amritanshu Prishte, along with my mate Ankan Mandal, are going to present on the topic Forest Fire Early Warning Safety System. So, now let's see the history of some of the major forest fires that occurred. One of the major forest fires was the Amazon forest fire that occurred in 2019. Record rate of 73,000 fires had been detected at the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon rainforest contributes almost 20% of the Earth's oxygen, and it had burned more than half a month, which created a major loss of biodiversity. Another forest fire that occurred in India was Uttarakhand forest fire in 2016. About 3,500 hectares of land, or say 8,600 acres of forest, had been burned, and nearly 1,600 incidents of fire were detected. So now let's know the problem statement. The problem statement is the wild forest fire caused mostly during the hot summer season. The increase in the temperature due to global warming has skyrocketed the rate of forest fire. Prerequisites research. There are many criteria that affects a forest fire, like temperature, relative humidity, precipitation, cloud development, and many others. But our project mainly focuses on two main factors, that is temperature and relative atmosphere. Let's see how temperature and relative humidity affects. Temperature. Air temperature has a direct influence on the fire behavior because of the heat required for ignition and continuing the combustion process. The heat from the sun is transferred to the earth by radiation, and then this heat warms up the surface of the earth. The atmosphere close to the surface is turned warm by the heat that is reflected from the surface. Another factor is relative humidity. The moisture in the form of water vapor is always present in the atmosphere. The amount of moisture that is in the atmosphere affects the amount of moisture that is in the fuel. Thus, the lower the relative humidity, the more vigorously a fire will burn. Now, let's see the current method of identifying a forest fire. The current methods of identifying forest fire are by using satellites, and another one is by using optical sensors and digital cameras. Satellite helps in identifying the forest fire using satellite imaging. That takes a lot of time as the distance between the ground station and the satellite is huge, which is around 36,000 kilometers for geostationary satellites. So during this period of time, the forest fire increases and causes a lot of damage. Another way is by using optical sensors and digital cameras. Optical sensors like LIDAR and digital cameras are affected by atmospheric refraction and dispersion, which reduces its accuracy by a huge margin. So it doesn't serve the purpose well. So in order to be more efficient, we developed a device. So now I'd like my friend Ankan to proceed.
Thank you, Amritanshu. Gold is a luxury. Trees are necessities. Man can live and thrive without gold, but we cannot survive without trees. It is very rightly said. So with that, I'll be explaining you how our project is different from what we saw previously. So our project basically consists of two means for the current prototype, one DT.22 temperature and humidity sensor having a temperature range of -40 degrees Celsius to a 90 degrees Celsius with the accuracy of ± 0.5 degrees Celsius. So I'll not make it lengthy. I'll directly show you the project. Yes, I hope everyone can see this. Yes, so this is all it needs, not something very, very fancy. This is all it needs to save millions of lives. So this project is connected to my computer.
1 second, children. You can stop sharing to have a
ma'am, but I have to share because our project mostly makes means that the unique selling point of a project is a software only. So I have to.
Okay. After that, you can show the project again, huh?
Okay.
Because it is not. It is briefly showing. So.
But so means the project is connected to my computer, and here, if I go, you guys can see the temperature will be coming. We can see the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius and 95, and the humidity is 95%. So now what will we do with this data? No, like we have the data. So what will you do with that? Nothing to do. So for that, which I already said, the unique selling point is our software. This is a software that I've developed, not exactly a software, but a program. This is a Python program that I've developed, which will be using the temperature and humidity as the main criteria, and using some algorithms will provide a probability. The probability will be provided in three categories, that is low, moderate, and high. But this will not only create not only provide a probability, it will also means when the probability of a forest fire to occur is high, so will set a series of alarms and will also send an email alert message to the nearest forest fire department. So I'll clearly demonstrate you that. So I will run this program. So it is asking me the USB port number. So I'll be inputting that. It is 3. Now to simulate a forest fire, I'll be using an hair dryer, by which I'll be heating the sensor. Now it's currently gathering the data and processing it. See, it gave a probability. You can see as soon as the probability became high, the siren started buzzing. So this is basically a infinite loops. It will keep on taking data and keep on triggering the alarms. Now I'll show you the email. So as you can see, yeah, I got an email. What does the email says? The probability for a forest fire to occur is high in sectors, because this one module can cover a area of 10 square meters. So every square meter will be given a sector ID, so that we can pinpoint the exact location where the fire started. In the sector ID, immediate action is recommended. So now coming to the presentation, let's look at the budget. So our project, the Arduino Uno, cost around 500 rupees. So this is the total cost breakup that is given here, and one unit which causes around 4100 rupees will cover 70 square kilometers of area. And I guess this price justifies the number of lives it saves in flora, fauna, and in monetary funds. So thank you, everyone. That's all we had. Any questions are welcome.
Thank you.
Now it's the interactive session. Jury members, please ask the question.
If you want, if any judges want to give their email address so that we can demonstrate directly to you, we can also do that.
Yes, fine. So can you go to that cost estimation?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So there's 4100 rupees for how many?
So 70 square meters, sir.
How much?
70 square meters.
70 square meter.
Of total area.
Okay. So if you compare the jungle, like the size of Amazon, so what will be the cost of this?
So, sir, that's what I said. This is a first prototype. This cost will be further to will be subject to change with further development.
Even 10 times less, right? Suppose 400 rupees for everything. Do you think you'll able to put in like all the corners of a jungle to identify the fire?
Yes, sir. The whole jungle means what I'm saying. This will be basically a government raises fund, and government has a lot of
No,
money, so
that's
they can,
fine.
yeah, they
It's
can
not
put.
only about the funding, it's about the implementation also.
Yes, sir. It
So,
can be done.
no, do you think it will be like better than satellite? Because satellite can cover much bigger area with much more clarity. Because nowadays the resolution you can go up to like a millimeter resolution using
So I'm
satellite.
saying that, sir, satellite, what it does after the fire has already started, then the satellite provides the information.
No.
Our device is
Satellite
different.
can also provide this data. So the like
Sir,
temperature.
as I said earlier, satellite helps in identifying the forest fire using satellite imaging, which takes a lot of time. So during that period of time, the forest fire increases and causes a lot of damage, which doesn't serve the purpose well.
No, now
So in
with
order
the
to be
help
more
of
efficient,
AI, with the help of AI, you can actually they can predict. It's not only about the starting. Even like after it started, it's not possible to put every 70 square meter one device
So
in a
actually, it's
big jungle.
possible, sir. So because when you see the means I'm telling you a thing that people means those who connect the maple syrup or the rubber, they put the that syrup and they connect wires with every tree. We are not putting
No,
it
but
in
they
every
have
tree.
a
We are
very
just putting
small
in
area to
maybe.
actually cover. It's not like the whole
And
jungle they are putting. They have
understood,
like
it can be done. It can be
acres of.
implemented.
Do you think that is
Yes, sir.
possible for
It
a
is
jungle
completely
like
feasible.
Amazon?
Yes, sir. I've been with these projects in 1.5 years. I've been pursuing this project. I've done a lot of research about this. So yeah, I'm 100% sure it can be done in big jungles also.
Okay.
so even it can be further developed and the range can be increased.
Yeah, sure. Everything is subject to change with further development.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any more queries, sir? I think no more queries. Thank you, Amritansu and Ankan, for your nice presentation.
Thank you.
Next, we'll proceed towards the project Heat Stroke Indicator, which is going to be presented by Priyanshu and group. Priyanshu, Sampreet, and Saswat Sekhar. You people are ready?
Yes, ma'am. Is our screen visible?
Yes, it's visible. You can start, children.
So just a second. First of all, a very good afternoon, esteemed judges, respected teachers, and all my dear friends. I am Sampreet Roop with my teammate Shashwat S. Mahapatra, and today we are here to present our project related to the heat stroke indicator. Before knowing about our model, let us first know what heat stroke actually is. I know some of you might have already known about it, but for those who don't, let me just give you a brief information. What is heat stroke? Heat stroke is a condition caused by your body overheating, usually as a result of prolonged exposure to or physical exertion in high temperatures. This most serious form of heat injury, heat stroke, can occur if your body temperature rises to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 40 degrees Celsius or higher. Condition is most common in the summer months. Exposure to a hot environment. In a type of heat stroke called non-exertional heat stroke, being in a hot environment leads to a rise in core body temperature. This type of heat stroke typically occurs after exposure to hot, humid weather, especially for prolonged periods. It occurs most often in older adults and the people with chronic illness. Strenuous activity. Exertional heat stroke is caused by an increase in core body temperature brought on by intense physical activity in hot weather. Anyone exercising or working in hot weather can get exertional heat stroke, but it's most likely to occur if you are not used to high temperatures. Symptoms. High body temperature. A core body temperature of 104 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 40 degrees Celsius or higher, obtained with a rectal thermometer is main sign of heat stroke. Altered mental state of behavior, confusion, agitation, slurred speech, irritability, delirium, seizures, and coma can all result from heat stroke. Nausea and vomiting. You may feel sick to your stomach or vomit. Headache. Your head may throb. Flushed skin. Your skin may turn as red as your body temperature increases. Rapid breathing. Your breathing may become rapid and shallow. Risk factors. Age. Your ability to cope with extreme heat depends on the strength of your nervous system. In the very young, the central nervous system is not fully developed, and in adults over 65, the central nervous system begins to deteriorate, which makes your body less able to cope with changes in body temperature. Both age groups usually have difficulty remaining hydrated, which also increases the risk. Exertion in hot weather, military training, and participating in sports such as football or long distance running events in hot weather are among the situations that can lead to heat stroke. Sudden exposure to hot weather, you may be more susceptible to heat related illness if you are exposed to a sudden increase in temperature, such as during an early summer heat wave or travel to a hotter climate. Now, I would like Sasu to take over.
Our project is basically about the indicator which has a thermal indicator, which allows us to know the temperature of the environment and indicate us the risk of heat stroke. Whenever the temperature increases more than 40 degrees Celsius, the sensor starts beeping, unless the temperature comes down. These sensors can be fit in every public places so that whenever the buzzer beeps, people become aware about the rising temperature and take the necessary precautions. This model can be used at societies, houses, and offices, etc. But if an individual wants to step out of their places and be outside or do some physical activities outside, then they might face some difficulty. So to cure that, they can also add or convert this device into a wearable device so that they can take it with them wherever they want to. This device notes the temperature of the body, heart rate, and notifies the connected devices. In that case, we will have to use some physical sensors to check the atmospheric and body temperature. We will also have to check the heartbeat to acquire the data with some physical temperature. We will also have to check the heartbeat to acquire the data with some physical exercise or activity done by the user. If a dangerous situation is detected, then the device will activate the alert function to remind the user to respond adequately to avoid the heat stroke.
Now we have prepared a video of how actually our model works. Let us have a look over here. Ma'am, is the sound audible of the video?
No, it's not still audible.
Ma'am, just a second. Let the alarm beep. If it's not audible, then I will again share it.
Okay. Yes, the sound is audible now.
Okay, ma'am. So with this, we have come to an end of our presentation. If there are any questions, then they are welcome.
Okay. Yes, jury members, please ask your questions.
So Priyanshu and group, this is a nice presentation, nice model.
Thank you, sir.
But what do you think this model can be used for? Who can use this model and where they can use it?
So to answer this question, sir, about this problem, before also there were solutions. Scientists have worked upon it, but their solution was for a particular individual and like a wearable device. But if every individual will go to buy each device for himself, that will be a problem. So we have come like a solution for more than one people, like for a community. So this device can be used in some places like some apartments or some societies or some schools, especially for the athletes, the training centers of the athletes where they practice, because athletes spend more time than us outside for physical exercises. Also in some military camps where our soldiers exercise, some the military students who are in the military academies.
But they are getting training for the same reason,
Yes,
right?
sir, yes, they are getting trained for the same, but sir, I'm saying in an extreme level. I just gave their example, but for now the main purpose is for the societies or for the I mean for more people, not one people, like an individual.
So what exactly it will show?
So if as I already showed that if as I already mentioned, if there is a rise in temperature than 40 degrees Celsius, then we have actually put a thermistor in the model. So when the warm sun rays temperature rises to either 40 degrees Celsius, that is 104 degree Fahrenheit, then it will detect that the temperature has risen, and it will then we have also input an IC 393 amplifier, which amplifies the data from there. Then the transistor will then transfer it to the buzzer that you heard was beeping. So it will then it will kind of a public awareness, which will aware the people that the temperature has risen, and it's an alert to you guys, so that no one should be outside right now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Any more queries, sir? I think no more queries. Thank you, Sampreet, Saswat, and Priyanshu for your nice presentation. Next, we'll move towards the next project, data transmission through LIFI. Devanshi and group. Devanshi, Sai Isita, Saibhav, and Subhasis. All of you are ready, children?
Yes, ma'am. Is our screen visible?
Yes, yes. Yes, your screen is visible. You can start, children.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Good afternoon, esteemed judges, teachers, and my dear friends. I'm Sai Ishita, along with my group members, Debanshi, Saibhav, and Subhashish. Our topic is data transmission through Lifi. Imagine a world where light source can connect you to the internet. Sounds like a world of science fiction, but the technology actually already exists. Lifi is the future of wireless connectivity. Lifi, short for light fidelity, is a visible light communication system that relies on the visible light spectrum to provide wireless internet connectivity. Here, we've used visible light as a medium of communication in which the receiver section interprets the incoming light using a solar panel and converts to the audible sound signal with the help of a speaker. Now, I would like to request Debanshi to continue.
Thank you, Ishita. Now here what you see in the presentation is the virtual setup of data transmission through solar Lifi system. A Lifi-enabled smart device has a photo detector, works as a receiver, and a light emitter works as a transmitter for uplink and downlink. Once the device moves from the vicinity of one light source to another light source, the system re-establishes the connectivity like the traditional cell concept. Currently, our smart devices are not equipped with light detection sensors and transmitters, but with modern semiconductor technology, Lifi can be integrated into a chip easily and add into future smart devices. Pure Lifi and Philips are the notable names in research of Lifi technology. Now we shall move to our prepared model. Saibhav, will you show us the model, please? So here we have taken an example of speaker using Lifi to generate music. So as you can see, if an obstacle is placed near the solar panel, the transmission is not possible, and hence the music can be replayed. Okay. So here's what we have done. When the light through the LED is received by the photodiode, in our model, we have used a solar panel. It passes a binary code to amplifier, which gives the output. That is the music you are hearing from the speaker. At the transmitting end, we use LED and mobile phone. For the receiving end, we have solar panel and speaker. Next up, we have Lifi applications. Well, even though Lifi isn't being recognized in much wider way, but its uses have been in a spotlight. Airlines, underwater explorations, operation theaters, traffic lights, headlights, defense line, and also in photochemical plants. Airlines. Cellular networks are harmful during flight. Lifi can be a savior by using its secure and safer way to provide us the internet, media, etc. Similarly, in photochemical plants, cellular network can create electrical sparks and even explosions. So here, Li-Fi can provide secure internet in such environments. So as we have come across the word secure, let us talk about how Li-Fi can be used in defense lines. As Li-Fi transmissions are restrictive and location specific, hence the risk of data leak is nil. Hence the communication is much easier and safer. So yeah, it's a step. Now I would like Ishta to carry on with the presentation.
Thank you, Debanshi. Is Li-Fi better than Wi-Fi? Yes. It is faster, more secure, and efficient. Oxford researchers have reportedly achieved bidirectional speeds of 240 Gbps. That's the equivalent of downloading 181.5 movies per second. Li-Fi uses light sources to transmit data, whereas Wi-Fi uses radio waves, which makes it susceptible to theft of data as it can pass through pretty much all objects. It consumes low power, has multiple device support, and is easy to install. Its bandwidth is unlimited. Coming to its limitations, any distraction could stop connection as it requires line-of-sight communication. Integration and coordination of device manufacturers is required for standardization. Debanshi, please.
With this, we have come to an end of the presentation. Li-Fi is a reliable network which would give a new definition to the smart future, as it is a pathway to enable smart buildings, transport, cities, and even nations. Thank you for your patient hearing. Now we will be receiving questions and try our best at answering them.
Thank you, Devansi and group. Now it's the interactive session. Jury members, please ask the questions.
So Devanshi and group, so it's a good presentation. I think Lifi was a hit couple of years before, right?
Yes, sir. It was invented during the year of 2011, but it not implemented yet fully.
Yes. What do you think? What are the drawbacks there? Why it was not implemented?
Sir, actually, we already have a great infrastructure for Wi-Fi. So, for installing Li-Fi, we have to completely exploit the lighting system. So, the Li-Fi system is only applicable if we are constructing new buildings. So, research is
Due to infrastructure, it's creating problem in our phones and devices. Light sensors are not there, so now the installation charge is quite high. So in near future, the phones and devices will be having the light sensors, so it will be easy for us.
Okay.
Any more queries, sir? I think no more queries. Thank you, Devansi and group. Next, we'll move towards the next project. The name of the project is Hyper. It is going to be presented by Amit Kumar Patra and Tamojit Bera of 11th. Amit and Tamojit.
Just a second, yes. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, your screen is also visible, but you are not.
I just turned on my video right now.
Yes.
There is a single light of science, and to brighten it anywhere is to brighten it everywhere. With this new thought and idea, Amit Kumar Patra with my team member Tamojit Bera are here to present our model Hyper, hydrogen plant for electricity resultant on the subtopic energy, resources, and conservation. Nowadays, pollution is one of the greatest enemies present in our life, and this pollution is mostly created by the fossil fuels that we use in our day-to-day life. Like presently, we are having an online meeting. In this meeting, we are using many devices like laptops, phones, cameras, etc. and etc. Although the devices are different, but still one thing is common between all of them, and that is electricity. Yes, without electricity, these devices are useless. In India, 59.9% of this electricity is generated from fossil fuels, out of which 51.7% is coal. If we keep using coal like this, then it will last for more 100 years or something. It fossil fuels has many flaws, like it promotes global warming, it creates harmful gases like CO2, CO, etc. and etc., which causes air pollution. And most importantly, it is non-renewable. And according to WHO, the World Health Organization, every year 4.2 million people die due to outdoor air pollution. We know how dangerous fossil fuels are, but still we are dependent on it. We have alternatives like wind energy, solar energy, nuclear power plants, etc., etc. But all of this has many flaws. Wind and solar energy are not independent, and nuclear power plants is very dangerous. Like for an example, in 1986 in Chernobyl, a nuclear power plant has a disaster happened in a nuclear power plant. A nuclear reactor blasted. Before that, people used to believe that a reactor can never blast, but the impossible happened. According to sources, Chernobyl is not habitable for another 20,000 years due to the radioactive environment. That's why we need a good alternative. This is where our idea pops out. That is hyper.
We all know that hydrogen is one of the cleanest fuels because combustion of hydrogen releases only water instead of carbon dioxide. And here also we are using a similar concept. Just instead of combusting hydrogen, we are combining it with oxygen to form water using a proton exchange membrane. So here's our model.
Just a second.
So this is a prototype. This is the processing unit where we are inputting seawater, and it's first purified, and then H2SO4 is added in order to electrolyze it, and it's separated into hydrogen and oxygen. And it requires some energy, which is provided using the solar panel here. And then the hydrogen is stored in this tank, and the oxygen is stored here in this tank. And then we are using a proton exchange membrane, which is there in between them in order to combine both of them, and energy is generated. And this energy generated is used for converting, is generated in the form of heat, which is converted to electrical energy by
Children, 1 second, just stop sharing so that your your model will be visible.
1 second.
Yes. Stop sharing so that it will be visible clearly.
Ma'am, now is this okay? 1 second.
Yes. Now your model is clearly visible.
Should we start from the model again?
Yes, it would be better.
Okay, so this is the processing unit where the seawater is inputted, and here the seawater is purified first, and then dilute H2SO4 is added in order to electrolyze it. And after electrolyzing, the hydrogen is stored in this tank, and the oxygen is stored here, and there's a proton exchange membrane in between them. And then the hydrogen and oxygen are combined here using the proton exchange membrane, and the energy that is released in the process is used for converting, used for heating water into steam, and then that is used to run the turbines and generate electricity. And this generated electricity can be used for powering the households and running the appliances. For separating hydrogen, for separating hydrogen, water into hydrogen and oxygen, the electrolytic process requires 260 kilojoule per mole of energy. But when they are combined, that time the energy released is around 484 kilojoules, and the surplus, that is 224 kilojoules of heat, is excess, which is a massive amount, and it can be easily converted to other forms of energy. And then for control and safety, we are using a boron as a neutron absorber and using it as control rods. And then we are using tungsten for shielding the reaction because it has the highest melting point of around 3000 degrees Celsius. So here presentation comes to an end.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, jury members are requested to ask questions.
So Amit and Tamojit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it's a nice model. So hydrogen cells are already in the concept stage.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think, why it is not been in the market? Because I think this is in the concept stage since last 20 years or more.
Yes, sir. So the main drawback is that the proton exchange membrane that we are using for combining hydrogen and oxygen, that is really costly. So that is a major drawback.
Sir, and the concept that is going for like more last 20 years, that is combusting hydrogen. But here we are, instead of combusting, we are combining hydrogen with oxygen.
No, is if you're not able, no, this actually the concept is something called water cell or something. Like you combine hydrogen and oxygen, it will make water.
Yes, sir.
So that is there. And like for the nuclear energy, so nuclear energy is known as one of the cleanest energy. Do you know
Yes,
that
sir.
or no?
Yes, sir.
So can you give any example of the cleanest nuclear energy? So that's the sun, right?
Okay, yes, sir.
So the only problem with the nuclear energy is you need like lot of control. But anyway, it's a good idea, and thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Amit, I have some questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Amit, actually, the proton membrane, exchange membrane, can you name few names of that proton exchange membrane?
That is we call it PEM, the proton exchange membrane. That is the only name, I think.
Okay, you know naphium?
No, sir.
Okay. Actually, for the hydrogen fuel cell, the main problem I think is the storage actually. Storage of hydrogen.
Energy.
Hydrogen actually storage and control that should supply. Control supply and storage. Two things. Hydrogen generation as well as it should be controllably, you should actually generate that hydrogen to that particular, wherever you want, that should be supplied to that particular point. And the next thing what for the fusion second process, I want to point out that is actually now more research is going on that. You know about plasma physics. Recently, actually, China actually tested the artificial sun. It was in news. The main problem is the confinement. The fusion process that should be controllably, that should be done, and you should get the energy also controllably. And that process actually a very difficult process. It means you have to deuteron, you know, hydrogen isotope, one of the isotope of hydrogen, deuteron plus deuteron, that should actually combine. And that is actually one of the hope actually in that particular case. But it takes, so confinement is a very difficult task. And some criteria that should be fulfilled. Okay. Anyhow, your project is very innovative actually. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amit and Tamojit. Children, the result will be declared later. With this, we come to the end of today's senior science project display. I extend my sincere thanks to our respected judges of the day for sparing their valuable time. I would like to thank our beloved principal, cum regional director, Dr. Kesav Chandra Satpathy, and our school coordinator, Madam Indra Bhattacharya, for their constant support and guidance. I would like to thank respected supervisors and beloved colleagues for their patient hearing. At last but not least, I have to thank the participants, our technical staff, for making the program a successful one. Thank you.